The Big 12 this weekend can make a statement, particularly K-State and or Iowa State can make a statement, launching a Heisman campaign or launching a playoff push. And this will be literally the only time throughout this entire college football season that all eyes will be focused in on the Big 12. So do not blow this opportunity. I think that needs to be the first and foremost thing said about what is going to happen this weekend. Think about the landscape of college football right now. We are living in a Power 2 world, whether we like it or not. It is not one where the Big 12 generates a whole ton of attention. Even within the rest of the hierarchy, the ACC has the bigger brands. They have a team in Clemson who some are picking to win the national championship this year. That's going to be a team that at times could command the attention of the college football world. This is a rare, unique opportunity. And well, I would much rather live in a world where we're just still playing every single game on campus. You're not having to go play these games overseas. We are here. You're playing games like this for this very reason. Yes, there's a payday involved too. But the main reason is to generate this kind of spotlight on your conference. Look, TCU's doing it again next year. Okay? It's a big deal for the league to have this. And it sets up a massive opportunity. I mean, the Big 12 is going to, in most ways, win no matter what. I don't know what, if you're thinking like Big 12 perspective, what's the best case scenario, best outcome? Probably that one of the quarterbacks totally balls out. That you have a generally good game. Both teams look good. It's a fun game, higher scoring, and then one of the quarterbacks just totally balls out and can take off as like a Heisman candidate from there. That's probably your best case scenario for the league as a whole. But for both of these teams, man, a massive potential swing in what your season is going to look and feel like here. Because if you win, you're going to get the boost of like the entire country watching you and being dialed into whatever happens. And there's always overreactions to what happens early on in a college football season. So that can be good or bad. If you play poorly, there will be an overreaction to that. One, because everybody saw it. And two, because it's the only reference point they have for the year. That's the only thing that they've seen. Literally the only college football that they have seen. You saw what happened to Florida State last year. Now they had lots of problems, but I think it obviously didn't help that they went and laid an egg in that week 0 game against Georgia Tech. Or maybe laying egg is too harsh after what we know about Georgia Tech by the end of the year. But at the time, it certainly felt like it. And 5 million people watched that game. The TV number last year was basically right at 5 million that watched that game. It was the top game on cable the entire season. So when I say the entire country will be watching this game on Saturday, the entire country will be watching this game on Saturday. More people watched that game last year between FSU and Georgia Tech than any other cable game. So just not ABC, CBS, NBC, any other cable game the entire year. It's going to be a huge audience. For the Big 12, 5 million is a bunch. You had Colorado putting up like the 3 and 4 million numbers sometimes last year. This possibly will be 5. I would think with 2 numbers beside the names, a top 25 matchup, that's going to help as well. So you win, people are going to love you. If you win, either of these teams have quarterbacks that are probably going to have to make a bunch of plays to win. Your quarterback's going to get a lot of hype and become a name, and there will be talk now, oh, can this guy win the Heisman? Very good chance of that happening, or at least being a fringe candidate. There will just be a lot of hype generated for your team, or if you lose, particularly if you play poorly, lose handily, man, you're going to get written off before anybody else has played a game. You'll just kind of disappear. And that's a harsh reality, but in the Big 12, you don't have a lot of room for error when it comes to national narratives. Your season is definitely not totally over. Ask Arizona State last year, who started, 5-2? Arizona State clawed back from irrelevancy through 7 games of the season, became a huge storyline. It's not totally over, but it'll take a long way to get back, and you'll feel kind of buried by that. So this is definitely one of those things that like a coach I know would hate. A coach would hate to hear that and be like, John, what are you talking about? 1 game at a time. We've got a whole bunch of season left. I get it. I know. But the reality of the media landscape and the attention economy that is college football, you're going to be in some debt. You're going to be in massive, massive debt if you lose this game, especially if you lose it and do not play very well. College football season is here, guys, and that means we all need to find good deals on tickets, all right? And the best place to do that is SeatGeek. I have to give a huge shout out to SeatGeek, the sponsor of today's video. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. So obviously, college football is covered, but if you're a music guy like me, it's perfect for concerts. I'm buying a ton of concert tickets this fall. And I tell you what, I have my eye on those Holy War tickets for BYU and Utah coming up as well. And man, all you got to do is open up the app. It's perfect. You can go check what's going on here, find the green dots in the seat. That means they're good deals. Red dots, maybe not so much, but SeatGeek will help you find the best deals on seats depending on where it is that you are trying to sit. They're each rated on a scale of 1 to 10. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you guys know I'm here for you. I've got a code for you. Code Kurtz gets you $20 off your tickets. Again, that's code Kurtz for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with promo code Kurtz. Make sure you just click the link in the description to download the app and have that code on hand and ready to go. Guys, I'm here to help you out. I've got your back. Hit up my friends at SeatGeek. And I would actually say I think K-State is the side with more to lose here just because K-State has had a little bit more of the hype this offseason, despite the fact that Iowa State was the team that won the head-to-head and went to the Big 12 championship game last year. But K-State has basically been your de facto Big 12 preseason favorite. They were the favorite according to the unofficial media poll conducted by the Gambling Gauchos. They were the favorite according to the unofficial Big 12 poll of head coaches that Brett McMurphy did. But those coaches picked this as the Big 12 title game. So that can also be a Big 12 title game rematch that you have at the end of the year. But K-State has been the team, even in that coaches poll, that they did pick to win. So I think you got a little bit more to lose there. People could jump off that pick pretty quick if they see you go out and not play well when the entire country, everybody here is watching. And if you're K-State, I think everybody's like, look, this has been a consistent program. We know they're going to win at least 8 games. They'll be in the thick of it. They've got Avery Johnson at quarterback who has this otherworldly potential, but he has been very inconsistent. And if Avery Johnson doesn't play well in week 0, I think it'll be easy for everybody to just fall right back into, yeah, okay, great. He's got a lot of talent, but he's not there yet. He's not ready. And so I think that narrative could really build on K-State pretty quickly. As far as the actual game goes, right? Like, how do I think this game is going to go? I mean, there are a lot of question marks for both teams. Like, I think K-State needs to prove that they can consistently move the chains on offense. We know that they're explosive. They were explosive last year. They have Avery Johnson, Dylan Edwards, and Jace Brown, who are all three about as explosive as it gets at quarterback, running back, and wide receiver in the conference, certainly at least, but also really the country. But they don't have DJ Giddens anymore, who was explosive in his own right, but also a guy who could help you keep the chains moving. K-State's got some new faces on the offensive line. They've got an injury at offensive tackle with George Fitzpatrick not playing. And then I guess really a health situation is what I should say, and not an injury, but he's not going to be out there. And you've got a new offensive line coach and a new offensive coordinator this year. So questions there. And Avery Johnson, again, can you be consistent? Can you take a step forward? Avery Johnson did not play a good game at all against Iowa State at the end of the year last year when he was beat up and I think not willing to run the ball very much, which is something to keep in mind. Meanwhile, Iowa State, another very explosive offense last year, but they lost 2 NFL receivers and just 2 of them. I mean, I hated playing those guys. 2 of the absolute best college wide receivers you're ever going to see in Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll. They're now in the NFL. Rocco Becht was already under 60% as a passer last year. Had a lot of turnover-worthy plays, didn't get burned perhaps as much as he should have at times. So what does that look like now without those 2 stud receivers? Chase Soule, Xavier Townsend, ready to step in, listed with an or on the depth chart, right? Or were they even just number 2? I don't know. I feel like Matt Campbell may have been playing some games on the depth chart there. We'll see. There's a 6'5" freshman that was in there as a first-team receiver. There are 2 very good tight ends that Rocco Becht has to throw to as well. And that to me is where the concern really comes in on the K-State side of things, is that the K-State secondary is very new. I mean, there's a lot of talk, hey, maybe the weakest link isn't as weak as it was last year, but it's very new. And especially at safety, you may be starting, you're going to be playing a bunch of true freshmen at safety. Gunnar Maldonado, who's an Arizona transfer, who I think is very good, has been battling an injury, may play, may not. They're not sure. Same with Colby McAllister, another safety who is hurt. Coming back from an injury, Colby McAllister. I have some concerns. Two brand new corners. Jacob Parrish and Marquise Siegel, the two NFL draftees from the K-State secondary last year, are playing great in the NFL preseason right now. So it just makes you feel the magnitude of that loss a little bit more. And that's really where my concern lies in this game. I have been sticking tried and true to this, all right? Anybody who's been listening, especially to Threema, the K-State podcast I do with Cole Manbeck and Derek Young, knows that I have been consistent in saying throughout this entire offseason, man, I think Iowa State will win the game. I need K-State to break through and do this. They've lost 4 of 5 to Matt Campbell at Iowa State. The one win in there was by 1 point. So Matt Campbell has really had K-State's number in the last 5 years. And until I see more consistency from Avery Johnson and the K-State offense, and until I see K-State get that Matt Campbell monkey off of its back, I think it's only fair to pick Iowa State here, especially with Rocco Becht returning. Question marks in the K-State secondary, and just an experienced signal caller who's going to be standing back there. So it's what I predicted on Threema. I've been getting crushed for it. I've been getting called Cy Kurtz by my co-host Cole Manbeck. Our own Discord for Threema has just been eating me up. But I'm nothing if not consistent, guys. I'm going to stand in and take the heat and the pressure in the pocket. I'm going to stand in the pocket and still deliver the ball. I hope I'm wrong as a K-State guy, but I call it like I see it. I call it like I see it right now. But it will be a great game, a great showcase for the Big 12, and I'm ecstatic on Saturday to watch it. I've been talking about that watch party. It is sold out, so I'm sorry if you had interest in going to the watch party in the Kansas City area for our Threema podcast. It is sold out. It is sold out, so you will not be able to attend.